Hi guys, got that funk here on my alternate channel because I only have a couple of dozen subscribers on this channel. I really didn't want to make this video too public, and I would appreciate it if it wasn't widely discussed outside of this channel. However, I wanted to just vlog this really to get my own thoughts down, but I don't mind sharing it with a few people, and if you're subscribed to me on this channel, we probably already know each other well enough to where I feel comfortable sharing a little bit with you guys. Um, it's a year since I split up with Sam, and like my anniversary, yeah. And I shouldn't really be affected by it that much because, good riddance. I wouldn't take her back if she offered herself to me. Um, and what she did to me, I can't really properly say, but it just fucks my head up that it's a year later and I still haven't managed to get past all this shit. It's like I have never had a woman wrong me as badly as Sam wronged me, as many times in a row as Sam wronged me, and I've never been able to wrap my head around why I let it happen to myself. I mean, I could see I was in the shit. Yeah, we were having an affair. She kept on telling me the whole time she was going to leave her boyfriend because she wanted to be with me and so on, and I fell for it, and I had some really humiliating times over that period. And then when she finally moved in with me at the beginning of 2009, um, I really believed her when I thought we were going to make a go of our relationship. And it was a year ago today that I could see by her behavior toward me that she was about to leave me and get back with her ex-boyfriend. And I did something that I'm not proud of. I basically texted him and said, look, before you get back with Sam, there's something you should know. And I told him about the affair. I told him that we had been having an affair for months. I didn't tell him how long it had gone on, but I told him that every time he thought that she was with Megan or Jenny, she was with me. And he must have gone over that in his head and realized that it was half this half of the period of the previous 6 months because there were plenty of times when she would be at my house more often than the house that she lived at with him. Uh, you know, I, I, what really gets me about the whole still brokenhearted after all this time thing is because I've just gone round and round in fucking circles in my head and I can't come to any kind of reconciliation about this. I've, I've been asking myself for the past 12 months, if you love someone and then they turn out not to be the person that you thought they were you ever really in love? Because what you were in love with was basically false, not true, not real. And this is the thing that fucks my head up because when Sam and I were alone together, and I'm not just talking about sex here, but when we were alone together having intimate moments, I've never felt so close to another human being in my entire life. It will always probably be the most beautiful times I've ever had with a woman when it would just be me and Sam sitting around or lying around together, looking at each other in the eyes and talking to each other and just bonding and feeling close. I've never have ever felt so loved in my life as I did when Sam looked at me, and yet sometimes she would get out of my bed and go straight back to be with her boyfriend, and I still believed that she loved me. Now, I've questioned myself about how I could be so foolish. People say love is blind, and I'm aware that from a purely scientific point of view, love can be broken down to chemicals in your brain. And if those chemicals are active, it can be very difficult to behave against them because they have a certain response mechanism and so on. And whilst that might be true, I also believe that, intelligence can overcome base impulses. I'm also not really ashamed to admit, but I guess I'm not proud of it, that's for sure. But I'm a real sucker for beautiful women. I know that sounds obvious, But it's unfortunately true that the more beautiful I perceive my partner to be, the the more I cling on to them, and the more, I don't mean in a clingy way, I mean in an emotional sense, you know. I don't mean like be physically clingy, but Sam was one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. And that's not a small statement. I mean, Sam could stand next to Jessica Alba or Shannon Elizabeth, and you'd still have to eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I mean, she's gorgeous. And I can't help, I can't escape the fact that I was blinded uh, by beauty. Um, there's probably a psychological thing going on there where I felt like I didn't deserve to be loved by someone as beautiful as her. So the reason I clung on so much is because I didn't want to let go to something that I knew I was never going to get again. You know, I've had all these thoughts. And whilst it may or may not be true, it doesn't fucking help me get over any of this shit, man. And in the year, well, it's been 11 months since I spoke to Sam. And in that space of time, I've seen her, I think, 4 times. And every time I've seen her, my heart falls right through my feet. It ruins the rest of my day. I want to speak to her, but I wouldn't have anything to say. And I wish that shit that seems to matter to me didn't fucking matter. Why does it matter to me whether or not she misses me, or whether or not she looks back on the time we had together in the same way that I do? I have a strong feeling that, you know, her mechanism to get over me would be to look back at it and think what a fucking huge mistake it all was. And whilst I don't think it wasn't a mistake, it was obviously a mistake. I mean, I got my ass kicked twice for it, my heart broken so bad I'm still hurting a year later. So it was obviously a mistake. But those precious moments that I had with Sam were so profoundly beautiful to me that I can't regret what I did. And I can't be angry at her, even though I should fucking hate her for what she did to me. I can never, ever, ever talk on YouTube about what happened in that relationship because I couldn't put myself out there like that to that degree. I want to be open about it because I think it might help, but uh, I was such a fucking idiot, and my behavior was inexcusable. You know, you can come up with as many justifications for why you're willing to participate in someone else having an affair. But, you know, anyone who's honest with themselves would admit it's pure sophistry. You did it because you wanted to. And in my case, you know, I did it because I thought she loved me. And yeah, I guess I must have done it partly because she was so gorgeous and I didn't think I was ever going to get with anybody as beautiful as her in my life. So, anyway, it's going to be a rough day today for me. For those of you who put up with this video all the way to the end, thanks very much for hanging in there. You know, I don't need consolation or anything like that. I just wanted to think out loud, and I'm just glad you guys listened. Thanks a lot. May all your ups and downs be ups.